Hello and welcome to Dice and Demons. I'm Emma, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new reveals that just came out from GW. I won't be, if there are any sort of any videos or anything, I won't be playing them just for copyright reasons. I don't want to get flagged for using somebody else's music, but we'll take a look at all the models, and I haven't seen them before. I actually just sort of got up and then I noticed there'd been a preview that had gone online, so I haven't seen them before, but we're going to be taking a look right now. So, first up, they say here, to enjoy the reveals at your leisure, click the links below for extra details and the big announcements. So that's a little bit different than the way they usually do it, where they just put everything in one big post. So here we have several smaller different posts, but that's fine. And the first one is World Leaders for 40k. So let's take a look at these. Take skulls and spill blood with hordes of new World Eaters and units. Sounds cool. So, yeah, that's a video, and you can just go and check it out for yourself if you want to. I'm not going to be, as I said, playing the videos. So here we have the 8-bound, virtually unrecognizable from the mortal space marines they once were. Every member of the 8-bound is each possessed by 8, of course, the sacred number, separate demons of Khorne. As you might expect, this makes them some of the most terrifying combatants in the galaxy, warriors locked in a constant battle for their own souls. Oh, this looks cool. By the way this guy looks, I would say that this constant battle for his own soul is a battle that he is definitely about to lose big time. Let's see here. Oh, it looks mental. Look at this weapon. I mean, he's got 2 weapons and they're like giant axes or something. Yeah, he's definitely going to be causing just a tiny bit of hurt, I think, if you put him up against someone. And I do have a Chaos Space Marine army, so I mean, I'm pretty excited to see these guys, because I think they would look really, really cool on the tabletop. I'm not quite sure. I mean, it looks sort of like a cornrows or something he has, instead of, it's just that it's wiring instead of hair. I kind of dig that. It looks cool. Yeah. Awesome. Sometimes the spirit of an 8-bound world eater can even emerge triumphant, becoming one with the 8 neverborn, sharing its physical form. These are the exalted 8-bound, even more dangerous and demonic than the others of their kind. Okay, so it gets worse. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it gets worse. Cool. Look at the feet of this guy. I mean, is he even a guy anymore? It's just like a thing, perhaps. I also like the Space Marine helmet here, because yeah, why not? Why wouldn't you keep some sort of some sort of symbol of a vanquished foe, you know? Oh, they look evil. Look at, oh my, that looks really painful. Look, he's got his clawed hands sort of thing, and then he's got the weapon. It looks like it's just sticking right out of his own flesh. That looks painful. I mean, in the best sort of way, of course. Oh, it's the same. This is even worse. Oh, that's terrible. he's got a round sword coming out of one of his hands. Oh, and the way they painted it looks so inflamed and painful, and he looks really angry. Which I get it. I get it. Ah, cool. Then it says here, the World Eaters army isn't just about the elite combat monsters of the Butcher Astartes. There are also new mortal followers in the form of jackals, who are combat monsters in their own right. These cultists are only slightly less deranged than their masters and favor sheer brutality over tactical niceties such as guns. Oh, yeah, okay, so these actually, I mean, I know they're from 2 different sides of the whole 40k thing, but this actually reminds me a lot of the, what are they called for the Sisters of Battle? The Repentii? Yeah, you know, those sisters who have done something wrong and then are just treated as slaves, just sent into battle with big giant weapons and no armor or anything. This looks like that, only just for chaos, which I dig. I think it looks cool. Yeah. I don't know what it is with the face masks. They look terrifying. I don't know what's with these. Do they serve some sort of purpose? Is it like a gas mask, or is it just as a kind of punishment? You know, you're strapped into this demonic face expression. I don't know. Oh, what is that he's holding in his hand? He's just got a big giant mace sort of thing filled with skulls. Cool. I can respect that. I can respect a person going into battle with their weapon like that. Yeah, they look awesome. Then we have a Lord on Juggernaut. Lead your ground-shaking charge with the savage Lord on Juggernaut. Anything lucky enough to survive a sweep of his exalted chainblade will find itself impaled on the Juggernaut's bladed horn. Yeah. Yeah. I will believe that. Absolutely. Cool. Yeah. I like this as well. This is quite cool. I would perhaps have preferred the Juggernaut to look a little bit more. It looks a little bit static, the pose to me, just a tiny bit. I think you could perhaps fix it where, you know, posing it on a base and perhaps making it rear up a little bit. But it looks cool and it looks really menacing. Absolutely. Yeah. And then it says here, like most trader legions, the world leaders also include more ubiquitous units in their ranks, such as land raiders, demon engines, and terminators, as well as immortal demon princes of Khorne. And thanks to the new codex, Chaos Demons, they can also be joined by furious demonic allies. Great. I like the idea that you can sort of mix and match, and you don't have to do just one thing. I like the idea that you can include the demons as well. But where are the rules for these shiny new followers of Khorne? Look no further than the gore-drenched Codex World Eaters. Take a first glance at the cover of this Tome of Carnage. So, yeah, that looks cool. Absolutely. Absolutely. Alright, so let's go back here and take a look at the next thing. Beasts of Chaos. So this is for Age of Sigmar. We couldn't let all the chaos fun be confined to the 41st millennium. The mortal realms will soon be quaking to the stampeding hooves of the beasts of chaos with their forthcoming new releases. Okay, let's take a look at this. So, who is the angry goaty boy in the video? That's the brand new Beast Lord, and he is ready to hack his way through anything that stands in his way with his paired man-ribber axes. Let's take a closer look. Oh, this looks really nice. This looks really nice, and I really like the fact that Beasts of Chaos are getting some new models. As I said, I haven't seen the whole release set yet, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed for some new battle line units because I think the Beasts of Chaos are such a cool idea. It's a cool army, and they have so many cool, things going for them. The thing is just that the range of models is ancient. You know, it's just ancient, and it really could need a whole new set of models, and especially some of the battle line units, in my opinion. But this looks cool. In the merciless society of the Beasts of Chaos, only the strongest can rise to power. These are the Beast Lords, hulking killers, and battle-tested raiders who command through intimidation. And frankly, we are not going to argue. Sure. Not only is the Beast Lord getting a new bestial new miniature in plastic for the first time, he is also the cover star of the new Battle Tome Beasts of Chaos. Here he is, mid-bellow, after man ripping his way through some unfortunate Stormcast Eternals. Okay, so this looks grand, you know, it's fine. He looks proper Killian stuff. Yeah, so they have some new rules. Oh, okay, so it doesn't look like they get any new units. It's just one single hero. That's a bit of a shame. I would really have hoped that they would get like a refresh of the entire line. But yeah, that doesn't seem to be the case. But this one looks cool as well. So I'm just hoping that eventually they will actually get some new models, because they need it, and it's a cool army, and they would be even cooler if they were a little bit more up to date. Then we have for the Gloomspite Gitz. Awesome. I like the Gloomspite Gitz. They're fun. We've already seen Gobbos on Doggos in the form of Ripper Snarlfangs, a warband for Warhammer Underworlds, but soon you'll be able to take a full unit of Fang Riders in your games of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Perhaps descended from the classic wolf riders of the world that was, these green-skinned raiders belong to the plains-dwelling Gitmobs rather than the subterranean moon clans or arboreal spider fangs, and bring a fast, flexible element to the Gloomspite Gitz armies. Okay, Cool. So we have some very nasty looking wolves here and some Gloomspite Gitz riding them, which I am all for. These looks they look great. It looks like they're going for a slightly new look for the goblins riding them. They don't look as cartoonish, perhaps as the older range does. They look a little bit more in line. I mean, they're definitely not cruel boys, but they look a little bit more like the cruel boys do in terms of the orcs, where they also look more sort of grimdark and less cartoonish. And I think these are definitely, I mean, they're great models and they look really cool and they could be painted up really nice. And I think it's cool that the Gloomspite Gitz are actually getting a whole new unit and not just a single small hero on foot or something. I prefer the more cartoonish look for some of these armies, just because I think there should be room for fun in the games. But yeah, this looks cool, and I'm sure a lot of people prefer this style of look to the more sort of satirical version of them, and they look cool. I like the banner here. They just sort of they got some old goblins sitting in a hut somewhere, weaving small bits of sticks into banners and stuff. That's nice. It's nice you have something to keep yourself occupied. If it's a long, cold winter night, you have something to do, and you can do that. You could also weave some baskets or something then. Cool. Yeah, they look nice. And then we have a rule smell weakness. I like the sound of that. Once it has scented blood, a Snarlfang's attacks become increasingly frenzied. Add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made with this unit's slavering jaws that target a unit that has 1 or more wounds allocated to it. Okay, so they get more and more hungry the more other units are bleeding out. Cool. And then they get a new battle tome, which is nice. I know that Gloomspite Gitz players have been wanting a new battle tome for ages, so that's cool. And here we can see a roadmap. Oh, cool. So for Rintu, we get Slaves of Darkness, Beasts of Chaos, Gloomspite Gitz. And then we get, for Spring and Order, 2 Death Battle Tomes and 2 Chaos Battle Tomes. And then Summer, we have another Order. Okay, so for the Death Battle Tomes, I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that we get one for Ossiarch Bone Reapers, because they really need it. A lot of their core mechanics have just sort of vanished over the course of the 3rd edition, so I really hope that they will see a new battle tome that makes them again fun and unique to play, because I have an entire Ossiarch Bone Reapers army that's more or less ready to go. They just stopped being fun to play. Alright, so let's see if we have more stuff to take a look at. We have Warhammer Underworlds warband for the Looncourt's Gitz, apparently. Yeah. And they are called Grincrack's Looncourt. Grincrack's Looncourt. Okay. This is definitely not a name they've come up with to help those of us out who don't speak English as our first language, huh? Grincrack's Looncourt. Alright. So these ignoble Gitz have truly been touched by the bad moon, hopped up on a combination of dizzying rhetoric and psychoactive fungi, both supplied by their leader Grincrack. They believe themselves to be mighty loon knights sailing into the Gnarlwood on a heroic quest. Oh, so that reminds me a little bit of the Flesh Eater cults, where they are these awful ghouls, but they imagine themselves being knights on a holy quest, sort of thing. So yeah, that's sort of the same delusion going on with these guys, which is cool. Yeah, I like this. I like the fungi on top of his staff. That's cool. Fungus on top of his staff. That's cool. And I'm always really happy to see some squigs, and I would like to see this like on 360, because I'm not quite sure what's happening here. Do we have like a shield, and then we have a goblin hiding behind it, and someone standing on top of him, and then using a squig as a sort of catapult thingy, perhaps? Yeah, Uh, and this one blows poisonous fungus darts or something. And he's brought his, instead of like having a blade, he's got a squig. And I mean, the squig is probably more dangerous than a blade on a spear blade or something. So that's cool. I can respect someone bringing a squig into combat like that. And the little shields are cool because they're in the shape of the bad moon, of course. Yeah, these looks cool. They look cool. I like them. Then for Necromunda, we have the Cawdor. Okay. We've already visited the heights of berserk madness and the depths of grotty cruelty at the US Open. Now it's time to turn the wide open spaces of Necromunda. There are many ways to get around the ass wastes, from 4 wheels to 2 wheels, and even no wheels or giant tracks. But how will House Cawdor conquer the deserts? It turns out they're going back to that old classic, legs. Yep, cool. What on earth? What is this? House Cawdor dreams of emulating great heroes from Imperial legends and the holy war machines of their armies, such as the Warhound Titan, Imperial Knight, or Astro Militarian Sentinel. Unfortunately, these noble engines are a bit harder to manufacture when you don't have a forge well to hand, and all of your building materials come from the garbage heap. Okay, these are fun. This looks all kinds of silly, which I like. This just looks, I mean, this is ridiculous, and I mean it in the best way possible. I don't know what's going on with these. They look like fun. I don't play Necromunda, and I don't really know anyone who does, so I can't say if this is something that is like needed for the game or anything. But just from a pure model point of view, it's fun. They look really silly. Perhaps I want some for my orcs, and then I could turn them into something. That would be fun. Perhaps the legs for a killer can or something. Yeah. As you can see, the Ridgewalker echoes a lineage of much prouder fighting machines from across the 41st millennium. With these ramshackle creations, the pious followers of House Cawdor can make their way between the shrines and holy places on Necromunda, traversing even the most rugged terrain at a semi-dignified trot. I don't know if there is anything dignified about this, but it looks fun. Yeah, then we have Arcs of Omen. What is this? I mean, it sounds wrong, but they're just books. I'm not interested in the Black Library books. It's just not for me. I like reading sci-fi and fantasy, but the style of the Black Library books are just not really to my taste. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just not something I enjoy reading. So I will skip that quickly. And then we have Vashtorr. What is that? Who is the demonic entity coming to shake up the 41st millennium? His name has been echoed in mechanical vox whispers, scrawled in the corners of maddening scrap code, and even emblazoned across the cover of one of the first 3 Arcs of Omen books. But who is Vashtorr, and what are his designs for the galaxy? Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is cool. Vashtor the Arkifane is a major new character for Warhammer 40,000. He is an enigmatic demonic mechanic, a fiendish forge master who specializes in corrupt machines and insane innovation. Unsurprisingly, warpsmiths and the Dark Mechanicum think he's great. I get that. I think he's great too. I actually really think he's great. He reminds me of the what's it called? I have one painted. It's for Chaos Space Marines, obviously. The sort of beetle-like demonic machine with the crawly legs and stuff. His wings remind me quite a lot about the whole design with that machinery thing. So this looks cool. This I dig a lot. Alongside his ally Abaddon, Vashtorr is the master planner behind the whole Arcs of Omen scheme. His meticulous mind is constantly at work, whirring away to craft plans within plans embedded with complex subplots and subroutines alike. Has the despoiler has bitten off more than he can chew? Well, you never know, do you? Not everyone is a fan. Be'lakor especially seems to dislike this uncanny upstart. With one of the most stunning demonic miniatures ever, could it be that the Dark Master is just jealous of Vashtorr? Could be. I really like the design on this one. This is, he looks creepy, he's sort of skinny looking, and looks like he shouldn't be strong enough to carry all this mechanic stuff, but of course he's powered by all sorts of demonic forces, so he's more than capable of doing it anyway. It just makes him look weirdly wrong. I mean, he looks wrong anyway because he's got all these bionic implants and stuff, and it's all like really sharp and spindly, and yeah, and look at the skin here all stretched out. Oh, it looks awful. It's awful. Horrible. I love it. I want one. I need one. This would be such a fun painting challenge, I think. Yeah. This is really cool. I totally dig this. This would be a really cool painting challenge as well. Look at all the different kinds of textures. You have the skin, you have the hooves, you have the weapons, you have the bionic implants, you have his horns, you have all this sort of weird demonic flesh thing. You can paint in all sorts of crazy colors if you want. I do. I want to paint it in crazy colors. This is just, yeah. It looks, it also reminds me, just with the face and the expression on it, it reminds me of the, what's that big beast in The Lord of the Rings? You know, the big flamey thing. Yeah, I completely forget what it's called. But it reminds me of that, with the face and everything. Just the expression. I'm not sure I want to know what's come, you know, if he's actually saying something, what kind of words would come out of his mouth. Yeah. This is cool. I like this a lot. Definitely. Okay, I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. So yeah, quite a cool reveal. I think I like the new world it is. They look horrible and cool. The Beasts of Chaos, it's cool they get a new model. I'm a little bit disappointed that they don't get a refresh of the entire range. The Gloomspite Gitz, yeah, they look cool. I'm a little bit sad to see that they are slightly turning away from the more you know, ridiculous fun aspects of the army, a little bit more towards some, not realistic, but a little bit. I prefer the more cartoony style personally, but that's just, you know, a personal preference, of course. We have the Underworlds band, we have the completely silly Rich Walkers, and then we have this new awesome big, I hope it's big, like, yeah, that would be cool. The new Vashtorr model as well. So really cool stuff. I'm looking forward to a lot of it. So question is, what do you think? Do you think it looks cool? Was there something you were hoping to see that didn't get a preview? Or are there some things that you are just like really excited about and can't wait to get your hands up? Let me know. Please write in the comments below. And of course, as always, if you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you consider subscribing to my channel, giving the video a like. And of course, if you want to keep up to date on my painting projects, you can also follow me as Dyson Demons over on Twitter and Instagram. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!